Carlos Prates is targeting Islam Makhachev following the results of UFC 330. Prates watched the event from the Xfinity Mobile Arena. 3 months after his knockout victory over Jack Della Maddalena, he is seeking a high-profile matchup. Regarding Islam Makhachev, Prates said, "I need a message for Islam Makhachev. I will knock you out, bro."
I need a message for Islam Makhachev.
I will knock you out, bro. I will knock you out, bro.
Knock you out?
I will bring that belt to Brazil. The first welterweight champ from Brazil.
Islam Makhachev proposed a method to determine the next welterweight title challenger. Michael Morales and Carlos Prates are currently under consideration for the opportunity. Makhachev said, "Let them fight each other, and the winner gets the title shot."
Videos of Carlos Prates and Michael Morales backstage arguing about who should get the title shot against you next, and they both want it, they both think they deserve it. How do you feel?
I don't know who I want to choose, no matter who is them. Maybe let them fight. Why they not fight in this card to see who is the #1 contender, But it's okay. I'm happy we have some real contenders in this division. And these guys, Morales, Prates, Shavkat, they make me like training every day more hard. But because I see this is the real fighters who can give me good.
Not everyone was impressed by the performance. Max Holloway questioned Islam Makhachev, holding 2 belts following his victory over Ian Machado Garry.
Why the f do you have 2 belts? Aura? I mean, like, it is what it is, bro. I mean, like, you are, but you're not. That was temporary, but now you're just defending 1 belt, bro. Why you keep... I don't know. I don't know, guys.
I'm still a very small channel, so if you're enjoying this video, please hit that like and subscribe. It really helps me grow. Let's get back to the news. Ian Machado Garry shared a video of his post-fight locker room speech following his loss to Islam Makhachev at UFC 330. Regarding the defeat, Ian Machado Garry said, "Charles Oliveira made me realize that losing in this sport means nothing, and that what truly matters is how you come back from it."
And Charles, losing in this sport means nothing. It means nothing. It's how you come back from it. I might not have won today, but I win every day when I have all you guys by my side. I love you all. I'm so proud of everything we do. You guys have changed my life, opened my eyes. I love you both. There's nothing we did that didn't work today. Just more of it. And so, man, I love you. I love you, dude.
I was trying to motivate you, but I didn't want to talk shit. I didn't want to talk shit.
We're gonna be back. Ain't no stopping us. You know that, right?
I know that.
We just got to the top of the mountain and we fell short. Don't stop. We come back, we do it again. Exactly. It's okay. There is no stopping us. Yeah. I love you.
Daniel Cormier believes Islam Makhachev is not receiving sufficient credit following his victory at UFC 330. In a recent video, Daniel Cormier said, "Makhachev was under a lot of pressure heading into his fight with Ian Machado Garry and deserves more recognition for securing his 17th consecutive UFC victory and breaking Anderson Silva's record." Daniel Cormier noted that Makhachev has achieved what few others have, winning and defending UFC titles in 2 different weight classes. Islam Makhachev watched a replay of his fight against Ian Machado Garry immediately following his victory. Makhachev reviewed the footage with Daniel Cormier backstage at UFC 330, demonstrating the preparation of a champion.
Which one you talk about? You know which one I like? 5th round takedown when you take the lock? This one's very good. This is nice, man. But watch, wrong arm though. You see, right arm got to be inside, not left. Look now, look. Look this head back. Show me. Show me. No. Look. Oh, yep. Headbutt in the back.
Dan Hardy believes Islam Makhachev must adjust his fighting style following UFC 330. In an interview with Submission Radio, Hardy said, "Islam Makhachev needs to make some adjustments to his game." Hardy noted that a move to welterweight will force Makhachev to adapt to significantly larger opponents than those he faced at lightweight. He cited Alexander Volkanovski and Merab Dvalishvili as examples of smaller fighters who successfully navigated challenges against bigger men. Hardy suggested that Makhachev would benefit from incorporating similar tactical approaches into his own game.
Makhachev stepped up into a weight class where guys are, and I'm going to use these words very, very clearly, people are weighing in 15 pounds heavier. They're not 15 pounds heavier. Like, they've got more muscle mass, they've got bigger frames. Like, you're getting guys that are in there that are like 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". Like, some of these welterweights that are getting really, really big, broad shoulders, long arms, long legs, difficult to take down because there's always a limb that's going to connect to the floor. Yeah, Makhachev's game has had to change, and I think this is where Makhachev will adapt if he stays in the welterweight division, if he wants to stay and try and keep defending the belt. I think it's going to be much more about hustle. This is where someone like Merab made up for being shorter in the division. He just forced people to work much harder. Same thing with Volkanovski. There's something to be learned from both of those guys, smaller in the division, but just as effective because they crafted their game around their assets. And I think Makhachev needs to realize that he's now not going to be one of the bigger bullies in the weight class anymore, because there's going to be some big boys that he has to.
UFC fighters reacted sharply after Islam Makhachev landed a second-round head kick on Ian Machado Garry at UFC 330. Ex-user at Happy_Punch released a compilation of these live reactions as fighters watched the strike connect.
Give it back. Oh!
Oh! Islam just kicked Ian. I said that would never happen.
Oh!
Oh! Oh!
Oh, this is levels.
Holy!
Holy! Oh, shit! Get them up! I literally called it! I literally said that. Oh my God! He's cracking him!
What the you can't keep doing this. He's the best.
Oh my God!
Oh, maybe.
Oh
No,
my
that's
God!
dangerous. That's my move, but he let go.
He's the best.
Wow. Islam Makhachev defeating Ian Garry. Now, this fight was absolutely amazing. I loved it. A lot of people saying that, Islam only threw so many strikes, but at the end of the day, he's fighting a bigger guy and it takes two to dance. Ian Garry has a specific style that he goes about. You look at his last fights, he has finished everybody in five fights at the highest level. But we're gonna break this down, so make sure you guys like, subscribe. Also, hit that bell to know when we go live. And let's get into it. I got the epic pin ready to go to break this down for you. There's a lot of things that Islam did right, and I was just...
Ian Garry, it was a close fight. Ian made that a hell of a fight. Ian Garry should be up there in the pound for pound list. He is actually insanely. That cardio he had, he wrestled really well. He looked good. He didn't get the job done. I don't think his stock goes anywhere. I think his next fight's going to be bigger than ever. Who's next for Islam Makhachev? We got Michael Morales and Carlos Prates. Michael Morales he's huge. So is Carlos. They're both huge dudes. Morales is coming off a victory over Sean Brady, Gilbert Burns, Neil Magny. Gilbert Burns, I think, was on a pretty bad losing streak, a little bit older. Neil Magny, also a little bit older. KO. His last 3 fights were KOs. So I'm curious, what do you guys want to see? Would you guys want to see Michael Morales? I think Carlos Prates has a little bit more hype behind him. Let me pull up his last 3 fights. Carlos Prates is ranked number 1. I did not know that. His last 3 fights, KO'd Jack Maddalena, KO'd Leon Edwards, KO'd.
Taken down from Islam Makhachev, and that's what we saw happen. Islam took him down in the first round, got on top of him, looked for some rear naked chokes and stuff like that, but not too much action, not too much ground and pound. Second round, wobbled him with a head kick, beautiful shot, and then got some takedowns again. And that was pretty much, the biggest action throughout the fight. Now, he controlled him throughout 4 rounds. And as the fight went on longer and longer, it seemed like Islam started to get more tired. You know, the pace and the size of Ian Garry. And fair play to Ian Garry. He'd done his homework. The takedown defense was on point, right? It was. The way that he was shuffling and scooting to the fence and standing up, and Islam was shooting him with his head on the outside, and sometimes his left arm would get back.
I didn't get a lot of things about Ian Garry psychologically. I didn't get the pep talk. The two in-ring pep talks during the fight that he gave Islam. I didn't get it. But I can't give Ian Garry a hard time. He fought really well. He was very controlled. He was very patient. Both guys, I got to give Islam that same compliment. I mean, they stood there across from each other, just sizing each other up. But that was a game of flinch, if you will. Hey, Islam, come get me so I can knee you in the face. Hey, Garry, come get me so I can catch something and tackle you. Because of that, though, because of some of those stalemates, it preserved energy. And if you preserve energy with Ian Garry, you're allowing him to preserve power. Now, let's talk Islam. Very, very impressive how he can stay composed. Very impressive that things that would generally frustrate somebody, Islam can deal with, because he does get frustrated. But he deals with it. In every upset you've ever seen, in every sport you've ever seen an upset in, the same component, which is the athlete who's upset, finds himself in a contest harder than he thought it was going to be. He has less energy with more time on the clock than he thought he would have. And he starts to unravel. And there was moments that could bring a normal athlete real frustration, but Islam just dealt with it. That was the fight. You'll hear fighters say all the time, you know, my biggest opponent is myself, but it's largely what I'm talking about right now. Can you just overcome? Can you just stay in the moment? Can you just go 1 more minute, 1 more exchange? We can give up, but let's not give up this round. We'll do that next round and just keep telling yourself until the fight's over. And Islam really did that well. I spoke to Daniel Cormier a moment ago, and Daniel is a big Islam believer and supporter. They were teammates and I think consider themselves teammates to this day. And Daniel said, Chael, I'm not sure that the public is aware of the...
Mackenzie Dern does not believe a win over Zhang Weili is required to prove her status as a legitimate UFC champion. At UFC 330, Dern secured a unanimous decision victory over Gillian Robertson, successfully defending the strawweight title she won against Virna Jandiroba last October. The title became vacant after Zhang Weili moved to flyweight for an unsuccessful challenge against Valentina Shevchenko. Zhang's future in the strawweight division remains uncertain. Despite wins over Jandiroba and Robertson, some critics questioned Dern's standing in the division. During the post-fight press conference, Dern addressed these concerns. Dern said, I don't think I need to beat her to be a champion. I've beaten the girls that were in front of me, and that is what you have to do to be a champion.
Do you feel like, though, that you still have to beat Weili in order to kind of get that sort of respect from everybody?
No, I mean, I felt like the champion before when I won the belt, but I just think I solidified myself even more as a champ for the fans, you know, that they would say that. But I don't think I need to win Weili to be a champion. I mean, people retire. Not that I'm not saying that that's what she's gonna do, but I mean, the more defenses I can get at this, whoever comes next, I think I proved that I was a champion. I mean, Jillian was 5-fight win streak, so Virna was a 5-fight win streak. I just became 4-fight win streak, so it's like, I mean, I don't know how much more I need to do to...
Sean Strickland criticized Dean Thomas after UFC 330. During the event's broadcast, Thomas announced he was stepping away from cornering duties. This followed Gillian Robertson's loss to Mackenzie Dern. Thomas explained his belief that Robertson had reached her career limit and that he was done cornering fighters.
And for my announcement, I do have an announcement for you guys. I told myself I would continue to do this until I took Jillian as far as she could go. I think that might be as far as she can go, and I am officially retiring from cornering fighters tonight.
Wow.
Yes.
You're doing the Matt Serra.
I'm doing the Matt Serra. I am no longer cornering fighters.
Can we not decide this the night of? Maybe you need time to sit on this?
I've been sitting on that, and I'm telling you now that that's what I'm doing.
That's breaking news.
Why?
It's just, I told myself that I would do this with her. I would see her journey out and take her as far as I think she can go. And this might be as...
Sean Strickland and others criticized Dean Thomas' comments about Robertson's loss. They accused Thomas of making the loss about himself and writing off his own fighter. Sean Strickland posted on X, "Dean Thomas is a real jerk. I've had my ass kicked in multiple weight classes through my career and won 2 titles. You're a jerk. It's probably better you retire. You're a bad coach. You only lose when you quit. Dean, sounds like you're a total loser." A fan replied, "He's a legend in this sport. I don't understand the hate." Sean Strickland responded, "He's just a jerk. The girl goes out there and tries to do something, and you put her down." Islam Makhachev successfully defended his welterweight title after a 5-round bout against Ian Machado Garry. Following the win, Makhachev analyzed his performance, noting the tactical adjustments required during the fight and identifying areas for future improvement.
Yeah, Ramadan is in February next year. I know you'd like to avoid, having a fight lined up for that. Are you looking to be able to fight 2 times next year after Ramadan?
Bro, we have to fight before Ramadan, 100%.
Before Ramadan, okay. So you're shooting for January.
Of course. January, end of the year, we have to fight.
Maybe even the end of this year.
Yeah, because I'm not like 20-somethings. I'm 34 years old, and I have to fight soon as possible because I'm not cut much weight. I don't have like any big injuries, just have to maybe double check my nose. And before this fight also, I give my approval to fight in White House. It's long story why I'm not there, but I told beginning of the summer I want to fight. I call Ali, I call everybody, I want to fight. But it's not something I chose and I make,
Well, what is the long story?
Because Ali called me and say, "Hey, you want to fight White House with Ilya Topuria?" I say yes, and I'm never asked. They offer me good money, and next day Ali say it's not happen. And I don't know. Just see what his manager said. He said we offer the fight, we ask some money, they don't give us. That's why we chose. Maybe Ali know all story.
Bigger. How much do you feel like the size at 170 pounds has kind of made things a little more even between you and opponents?
Honestly, I don't know. I feel he a little bit, maybe couple kg, he bigger than me in this fight. And I think in first fight in welterweight, because I focus on that, I not feel, I know I was bigger than this time, But this is I think the things which one we have to still thinking what to do, how to gain some more weight to become bigger, But I don't want to go back to lightweight because I told you I enjoy every second with my team, with my friends on this camp, because when people who never cut like 15 pounds, they never understand,
It seems like between every round, Ian was saying something to you, kind of trying to give you a hug, touching you on the head. Beginning of the 5th round, he high-fived you. Dana White said he hates that. He wish you guys would just...
Bro, honestly, I don't understand, man. This is the fight. This is not something we have to hug each other every round, We're going to war to broke the face, to broke the eye, That's why I respect all my opponents, but Jan, I don't know. He respect too much.
What did he say to you after the fight? Because it looked like he came and
He
shot
just
you.
said, "I fight today with the greatest fighter." Yeah, I respect him. He's a good guy, very kind. But this is the war. Look my face. I just come to beat everybody. It's not some things you have to play. This is fight. This is.
I felt like tonight was set up for the upset. I felt like the upset could happen tonight with so much on the line, all the records that Islam has, and he's going to break Anderson Silva's record. There's weight classes for a reason. Ian Garry is a big, rangy, strong guy who has great takedown defense. I mean, if you look at his takedown defense tonight against Islam, it was impressive. I felt like, I think that Ian is a talented guy. If he had even an ounce of killer instinct in that 5th round, you know, he had been beating him to the body. Islam's whole, I think, right side was beat up. His face was beat up. You don't come out and hug and shake hands. And that shit drives me fucking crazy when there's so much at stake. And there's also a lot of mental gamesmanship, whatever you want to call it in this game. You come out in that 5th round with a flying knee or something crazy and you try to finish the fight. I think that this is one of those fights that Ian will go back and watch and say, fuck, wish I could do that over again. And, you know, if he came out and tried to destroy and win that last round, you know, with everything that he had, I think it's a totally different fight. And then he gives Islam that explosive, you know, he exploded up and got his back. And once he took his back and put the hooks in, that was a wrap. He's going to ride that out till the round ends. You know, that's how I felt. But on the Islam side, Islam went out, you know, it's the complete opposite now. Against a bigger, strong, rangy guy who has good takedown defense, controlled him, shut him down. I don't know if he was in his head, and Ian felt like he had to come out and shake hands in the 5th round or whatever, but, you know, Islam did exactly what he...
Asking you if he's your toughest opponent. Now that you've shared the cage with him for 5 rounds, was he your toughest opponent? And if not, where do you rank him?
Oh, maybe top 3, bro. But the Australian fight, it's crazy. With Volkanovski first fight, he gave me a hard fight, bro. This guy is dog. He go forward every second, you know, he don't stop. And that time I remember we have very hard time, you know, and all arena support him, and like even if he miss punch, the all arena go like crazy, you know. But it's one also, it's hard, you know. Some of them when you won before, like by first round, you not grow, but 5 rounds you give your like many years, you know. You guys don't understand, because when you finish someone from the by first second, it's you not grow, but the second, the minutes inside the cage, it's some things which one like give you more like, you know, experience. This is the number one things. You're never gonna find somewhere experience like that, just inside the cage when you have...
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you never miss the latest MMA news. And I'll see you in the next video.